years I said the pros should play one missed ball in the hand. So if you don't run out, your opponent gets ball in hand. And this would take the safety out of the game and make it more exciting for the fans, because they would get to see the pros going for really, really tough shots. But it doesn't work. I tried this with a friend of mine who's a great pool player, and what happens is it doesn't take players long to learn to just tie balls up if they can't get out. And then the opponent swings at the cluster, and then the guy who tied the balls up just runs out. Yeah, it doesn't work. It was a good idea, John, but players are too smart. Pool players are smart people. They're really good ones. They'll figure out a strategy, whether it's breaking soft, breaking hard, tying balls up, playing safe, whatever they have to do to win. But I do think we should gear the game toward the fans, and somehow just create a whole new, more exciting game. It's boring to non-pool players. It's just boring. That's all there is to it. So I think we should focus on that and make it more exciting. Anytime you're trying to figure out what the best thing to do is to break a cluster out or to play safe, there's always a whole lot to think about. Here we have a situation where your opponent broke dry, and we have to figure out what to do with this 4 and this 8 ball, which is tied up, and there's no pocket for the 4. So the first thing to consider is, can you make the 1 and break these out and still have a shot on the 2? Now, you can certainly shoot the 1 in the side and come down off this bottom rail and break the 4 and 8 loose. But with this 6 ball in the way of the 2, it's a glaring problem, and we're not going to depend on luck. That's a bad decision. So the next thing to think about is, can you break that 4-8 out while shooting the 2 and still have a shot on the 3? So if we make the 1 ball down in this corner and get to a position where you can draw back and break the 4-8 out, the 7 ball is a glaring problem, and chances are you're going to hook yourself behind it when you come up on the 3 ball. It's a bad decision, so that's ruled out. And now we get to the 3 ball. Can you shoot the 3 and be in a position to break the 4-8 out? And while it's available and it's possible, especially because this 1 and 2 will be gone at that point, we can do that, but now we have to contend with the 5. So if we shoot the 3 in this pocket and come down off this rail and come back and break these out, the 4 is going to go over here most likely, the 8 is going to go up table, and no, we're not going to have a decent shot on the 4. So now it goes to, okay, the best thing to do is to make the 1, 2, and 3 and play safe on the 4. So where do we need to be to play safe on the 4? And I decide the best place to be is down table, so we can just nick this 4 either on the left side or the right side, send the cue ball down table, and create a wall of balls for your opponent to hit this 4. So let's roll the footage and see how I do this. I'm trying to get straight in on the 2 so I can get anywhere on the table I want to on the 3. Almost anywhere. You'll see my plan when we get to it. So I succeed in getting straight in on the 2, and now my agenda is to get down table as close to the center table as I can get, and probably as close to this rail as I can get. And here we are. I gotta juice this a little bit to get there, but I have no choice but to fire away, and I get there. So a little bit higher than I want it to be, but it's still okay. And at first glance, you could think that just nicking the 4-ball on the right hand side and sending this down the table is the best way to go, but I decided to nick it from the left hand side to create even a bigger wall of balls between the cue ball and the 4-ball. You'll see how I do this here. You'll see what I do, Scooby. Yeah, at first glance, this doesn't look like the right way to do it. Just get that cue ball down table, and now your opponent is stuck with the 8 and the 6 in the way of the 4-ball. This doesn't mean he can't hit it, but it's not a simple hit. He's going to have to go to this rail, bounce off this rail, and hit it. The great thing about that is he's probably going to leave you straight out. You're going to be able to run out even if he does hit it and you don't get ball in hand, and this game should be all yours. Pretty groovy. Practice is not the greatest safety in the world, but it's pretty strong. So, yeah, if I'm in a tough match against a good opponent, I won't hesitate to play safe. It's just that it doesn't make for a good YouTube video. And usually if I'm running out and I get bad position on the ball and I'm forced to either swing at a low percentage shot or play safe, my focus is on why I got myself in that position and how to fix that. And naturally I'll play safe, but I'll be angry at myself for getting myself in that position. And you gotta do what you gotta do if you want to win, but it just doesn't make for a good YouTube video. I don't think. I know it's part of the game and I need to cover it, so I will cover it, but I don't expect that video to go viral. Now, if your opponent breaks dry, and he leaves you, a really shitty out, it's a whole different ballgame, because I didn't do that to myself, and there's nothing I can learn by someone playing, someone who can't break. You learn how not to break. So here we are again with the same situation. There's a dry break, and this time the 3 and the 7 is tied up. We're going to go over and take a look and see if we can make this 3 in this side, and if we can pretty easily run this wreck. If we can't, we have to proceed from there, and we'll do so when we get to I'm taking a good look at this 3, and it's very close, but I don't think it's makeable. And I can tell by how my shoulders just went limp that it is not makeable on this side. So now the question is, can we shoot this 1 and break out the 3? And the answer is no. I mean, you can, but the percentages are low, and the percentages of getting on the 2-ball are also low, especially with this 8-ball in our hair. So then it comes to, can you get on the 2 from here to be in a position to break out the 3? And the answer is yes, but again, it's just not worth risking it. It's a low percentage that we're going to, we can break it out, but are we going to have a shot on the 3 after we shoot the 2 and break it out? And it does not look good. So it comes down to having to play safe on the 3-ball when we get to the 3-ball. I could also play safe on the 1 here. And there's a whole other strategy here where you can play safe on the 1 and bust out the 3-7 with the 1 ball, and try to get safe to where when your opponent misses the 1, you now have ball in hand and everything's broken out and you can run out. We'll get to that strategy when we get to it. It comes up here somewhere. So here we are trying to get to a decent position on the 3 to play safe on the 3. Pretty much the same situation as my last clip that I posted. The last little example clip. I don't know why I put right on there to hold it up, but I did. So there's a plan coming up. I don't exactly remember what I did here. Putting a lot of bottom on this and going to the other side of it in a Z formation, and that's not bad. I mean, not exactly great. I mean, my opponent can hit it, but you have a lot of distance here. You're not going to go this way. I mean, he could do that too. You're not going to go to the end round, because chances are you're going to hit the 8. There's ways to hit the 3, but I mean, if he hits the 3 and makes the 3, he's just plain lucky, and that's all there is to it. Chances are, if you're playing a good opponent, he's going to go this way, and he's going to hit it, but it's going to run into the 8 ball, and you're going to have a pretty decent shot on the 3. So there's this one. You should know exactly where and how you're going to play safe before you ever shoot the first ball. So the balls are broke, and you should plan your strategy at that point, and you should know exactly how and where you're going to play safe. It should never be a matter of, getting down and making a couple balls and finding yourself at a problem, and then trying to figure out how you're going to play safe and if you're going to go for it or whatever. You should know that problem exists before you proceed to shoot the first ball. And now there are cases where, let's say you shoot the 1, 2, 3 and you accidentally hit the 7 ball, which ties up the 4 ball. Well, you should have saw that you might be hitting that 4 ball as you proceed to run the rack, and you should have a plan in that case too. You should say, okay, well, if this happens, this is what I'm going to do before you shoot the 1 ball. So it gets a bit complicated. You have to get your thought process right. So your opponent breaks dry, and you have a clear, good shot on the 1, which can get you on the 2, the 3, and the 4, and the 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, and boom, you win. But there's a bit of a problem here, and I think I can get myself around this problem. Here's how I'm going to do that, and if I fail, here's how I'm going to proceed. Alright, here's a situation where you're playing somebody who's good, but they're not quite a run-out player. They just haven't reached the level of being able to consistently run out. And he broke dry, and I'm snookered behind the 3 ball to shoot the 1. Now, I could easily jump the 3 ball and shoot the 1, but we have a problem here with the 6, 7 being tied up. So There's a number of ways to play this. I think this is the best way if you know your opponent's speed. I'm going to push out, but I'm not just going to push out to a hard shot that I know I can make. Everybody knows that strategy. Push out to a shot you can make, but your opponent is not confident with, so he's probably going to give it back to you. That strategy won't do us a whole lot of good because we still have a problem here with the 6 and 7, and it just becomes too much work. So let's turn the volume down. Here comes the way to push out against an opponent who's not Superman. This one. I'm thinking, and here's the way I proceed to do it. Again, we're pushing out, but we're going to break out that cluster and leave your opponent a shot. So if you're pretty sure he's not going to be able to run out, then I'll make a few balls and miss and give it back to you. This is the way to do it. He's probably going to take this shot because he thinks in his head that this is pretty easy and he can easily get out. It's not as easy as it looks. I know that, but he doesn't. So there's how to do it. Now, if you are playing Superman and he's a great player, you want to do the same thing. Break out that cluster and leave him a tough shot, which is most likely going to be a jump over one of these balls. The 10 would probably be the best one if you can break that out and get the cue ball behind, or get the cue ball behind the 9, not the 10. The problem with getting it behind the 4 is if he gives it back to you, this 7 is a bit in our way, so we're going to have to really jump the hell halfway down the table, and you're liable to bounce off the table. So, yeah. You want to break the cluster out, just in case he does give the table back to you to run out. But you also want to give yourself, you can't give him an easy shot, but you want to give yourself a shot that you know you can make and run out. I think I said that 14 times now. Let's get on with it. The position you need to get to make the ball is different than the position you need to get to play safe on the ball. And this is why you have to have a plan. And if you break and you see a problem or a potential problem, it's actually your first thought after the break is, where do I need to be to play safe on that ball? Or where do I need to be to break that problem loose? So if I try to break it out and I miss, I should be here. So I need to be here on this ball. Yeah, you should have a plan for failure and a plan for success. If you don't, your whole thought process is wrong. And that's what you need to work on. I mean, pretty much anyone can play safe. They give it just a little bit of thought, and most times you need to be straight in on the ball you're playing safely, so you can stop it behind another ball or a cluster of balls. That's most often, not always, that's not always the case. You often have to move the cue ball into a position, behind a cluster of balls or a wall of balls or whatever. When playing safe, you also have to realize that your opponent can play safe back on you. So, your battle's not over just because you got safe. So, you should also be thinking about not allowing, or not getting the cue ball in a position to allow your opponent to play an easy save. The object of the game is to get him swinging at it in desperation. That's what's going to open up the rack and let you in. You want your opponent in a place where he has to swing wildly in hopes that he contacts the ball, so you don't get ball in hand. That's what you want. Don't make it easy for him. Alright, here's the table you're left with. The 1 and the 8 are tied up right here. Whether you have ball in hand or this is what you're left with, here's how to play a relatively easy safety on this one ball. Keep forgetting the volume situation. Sorry, folks. Gotta keep your patience with me. I'm old. I had another senior mode. Yeah, it's just a stop shot, and you should try to. If I could freeze him up on the 8, it would knock out that angle and this angle here, and make it basically impossible to hit this 3 without fouling. That's what I was trying to do. I didn't quite get there, so he can still hit this by going to this rail or bouncing 2 rails back. But I mean, he's not going to make this ball unless he gets super lucky. Chances are real good he's going to leave me something quite easy to make it possible for me to run out. So I'm checking how well that safety is right here, and it's okay, but it could be better. If you're in that situation, try to freeze them up to the ball you're snookering them behind. Let's go on. I assume that everyone who finds my videos on YouTube are good players. That's why it says advanced line ball. You're not really going to the basics of the ball. We're trying to take your game to the next level so you can compete on a higher level and make more money. So with that, you'd be surprised at how many of you guys, how many good players don't pick up on the fact that your opponent is already on 1 foul if he scratches on the break. And now you have ball in hand. And so your decision should be, is this rack easy to run out, or is it going to be hard for me to run out because of this cluster and that cluster? And if it's going to be hard, now's the time to put your opponent on 2 fouls. Whoa. Hey, idiot. Motherfucker cut me. God, it must suck to be a miserable piece of shit. Anyhow, sorry about that little mishap. Where were we? Oh yeah, you have the ball in the hand, so if it's going to be difficult for you to run out, now's the time to play a brilliant safe. And you can also do both and break out that cluster while you're playing your brilliant safe. So he swings at it and he misses it, and now you got him on 2 fouls. And you're back in that position. Can I run this rack easily, or is there still a problem? So, I mean, you're in major thought mode here. If you didn't succeed in fixing the problem, or you didn't even try to fix, the cluster to make it easy for you to run out, don't forget to tell him he's on too when you get him in another brilliant safety, and get him on 3,000 in the game. So there's a lot of thinking going on there, and I mean, you can't be an idiot and be a great pool player. You're going to get beat. You can get through and be a decent league player or a decent local tournament player. But when you get to the big dogs, they're going to cut you up and enjoy you for lunch, man. You have to think. You have to be all there. You have to know your own game, and it helps a lot to know your opponent's game too. Usually you don't have that luxury unless you've been around for a long, long time. So there you are, my official preaching session on safety. I want to say something here, but I don't know what else to cover.